Hi. So I figured because my last video that I did like 5 seconds ago, I talked a lot about shielding. So I thought I would just turn right around and do that video right away about shielding. So super important for empaths and highly sensitive people, and really any of us to shield ourselves. So this is how I consider her my mentor. This is how she taught me how to do this. This is the first steps for how she taught me to do it. We went and met at a coffee shop, which was actually a really good place to go because it was so noisy and there's so many people around, and it really made me actually focus on what she was saying and focus on doing exactly what she said. And the fact that there was lots going around was actually good. It was a little bit of an obstacle, but it helped because I had to physically like force myself to not pay attention. So the way she taught me how, she told me to close my eyes, and she to clear your mind, right, and to envision yourself in an empty room. I personally saw myself in a black void. Is the best way I can explain it. Everything was black. Nothing was around me. I didn't see anything but my body standing there. That's how I envisioned it personally. Then she said to imagine a light around you, like an orb, kind of like think of an orb, right? So, or if you've ever played video games, think of it, kind of like that, like a shield, right? And she said, breathe in and then breathe out really slowly. And she said each time you breathe out, imagine that orb, that light around you is getting bigger, bigger, and bigger until your whole body is in it. And then she said, and that's literally all there is to it. She said, you know what? And I personally, when I was doing it, I saw, or I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of interesting. I felt everything quiet down around me. I felt all of the energies and all of the noise and everything that was around me. I actually felt it quiet. It was a really interesting experience. I actually ended up getting really, really weird chills, and I ended up freaking myself out, and I opened my eyes during it because I had never experienced anything like that before. It was a really cool sensation, but it was really neat to me that I actually felt everything quiet down. I felt everything slow and get muffled, and I wasn't feeling everybody anymore, and I wasn't feeling everything. That's literally how easy shielding can be. I don't want to say easy, how simple it can be. It doesn't have to be this big elaborate thing. You can do it anywhere. If you start, I've had to do it at work before, where I thought I would shield just fine before I came into work, and for whatever reason, nope, I didn't. And my work is actually very active, spiritual wise as well. There's lots of spirits around that like to mess with me on a daily basis, but that's beside the point. Another video, another day. But I don't know what it was, but I just, for whatever reason, I did not shield very well. And I thought I had. And I actually had to stop what I was doing, take a breath, close I think if I remember correctly, I actually closed my eyes at work. I stopped, closed my eyes, took a couple deep breaths, envisioned that orb, maybe minute tops, absolute top, 60 seconds tops, and I was good to go. So it's really literally that simple. It doesn't have to be this big thing, and I think a lot of people think that there has to be this big elaborate thing, and it doesn't. It's literally whatever you need to do to envision yourself being in a bubble. You're safe in your bubble. No energies, no emotions, nothing that you don't want in can come in. And it's something you need to do. You do it every day. Do it every single day. Practice it multiple times a day if you want to, until you're comfortable doing it. Like I said, I've gotten to a point now where I don't even do it consciously. I don't have to stop every day and close my eyes and envision it. I don't even know how to explain it. I don't even know at what point in my journey I did it unintentionally. I just realized one day, I managed to shield myself, and I do it now. It's almost like I have a permanent shield up. But like I said, even so, there's those days where I'm just like, okay, I need to take a couple seconds and I need to actually physically shield myself right now because, for whatever reason, it's just too crazy. I need to do it. And that's okay. And the hard part with it, I think, too, is a lot of people are embarrassed, right? Because, especially for, if you're at work and people are around and it's kind of embarrassing. So, it's, you have to find your way so you're comfortable doing it. You don't even have to necessarily close your eyes. I find it's easier because it helps me focus. But even just taking a couple seconds and just stopping and breathing, and as long as you're, envisioning that shield that comes around you, it should work for you. Super important. So important, and that goes hand in hand with grounding. Grounding is very personal. It's a very personal thing. There's really no one right way or wrong way to ground. It's whatever you need to do to get yourself feeling peaceful again. A lot of people I talk to like to go outside, because you go outside, you're in the sun, you're in nature, you're in the elements, and we all know that that's a really good way to get your body back in proper rhythm. Go for a walk, stick your feet in the dirt, stick your feet in the sand if you're a beach person. I personally don't care for the beach too much. It's hot and sticky and I don't like it. It smells funny. So that wouldn't be a thing for me. But some people really like the beach. And so going for a walk on the beach, or sticking your feet in the sand, or playing piano is a big one for me. When I've had a really crappy day, or if I'm just feeling really down, I will, I miss having a real piano. I have a keyboard, which is not the same, but I'll take it. It's better than nothing. I'll sit there and I'll just play a couple of my favorite songs, and it just brings me back, and it calms me down, and it just makes me feel better. So again, it doesn't have to be anything big and elaborate and scary and busy, and it really doesn't. And it's no wrong way, honestly. You do what you got to do. Do whatever you got to do. Some people, honestly, it's video games. Like, I know my husband, when he's, needs to chill, playing a couple hours of video games for him will just bring him back down. It's fine, but that's what it is. There is no wrong way to ground. It's literally whatever you have to do to find your inner peace again. So figure that out for yourself, and experiment. It's okay to experiment. This is, I didn't even realize playing the piano or the keyboard was grounding for me. One day I was just having a crappy day, and I was like, you know what, I'm bored, and I'm gonna go play on my keyboard. And the way I felt after, even during, half somewhere in between, like in the middle of me playing, I realized I feel better. And then afterwards I was like, I'm calm, I'm good. And my mood drastically changed. So it's literally like, figure it out. Play around with it. Choose different things. It's literally, what works for me isn't going to work for you. So figure it out for yourself. It's totally the huge thing about the craft, like witchcraft or Wicca or whatever, you practice. It's really about experimenting, figuring out what works, what doesn't, and some things will work and some won't. I've helped people shield a lot, and I always tell them, you know what, tweak it. If it doesn't, some people get really anxious if they imagine themselves in a big black room. It doesn't work for them. I was like, okay, so pick some place that you're happy in. Picture yourself in the middle of the woods if that's what you like, or picture yourself, like I said, at the beach, or pick a place, that's your happy place. It doesn't have to be a big black void. That just worked for me because I was able to block out everything else. It helped me envision just me and not everybody else. But I now tell people that because I had one person tell me, okay, the black scares me. I said, okay, well, don't make it black. Make it whatever you want. Be in the clouds if you want. Somebody else said that they, instead of a big white orb, I think they said they chose pink or blue or yellow or something. Again, it's you. That's just how I was taught. That's the basics I was taught. So go with the basics and then work with it. Do whatever makes you happy and works for you. I think that's a lot of the problem too, is people will get caught up in details, and it doesn't have to be like that. It's whatever works for you. Just experiment with it. See what works for you. It's really that simple. It's really doesn't have to be anything big and scary. I was gonna go on boundaries, but I think I've stomped on that point an awful lot about being able to stand up for yourself and stuff like that. So I don't think I need to beat that point home anymore. I may or may not do one more, or I might just call it a day because my throat is actually getting very dry from talking so much. Funny. It usually doesn't happen. I like to talk. So anywho, I hope that was helpful to some people, because I know a lot of people have a hard time knowing how to block out stuff they don't want. And that's just what's worked for me. So until next time, thanks guys.